Hello and welcome to Down and Dirty with Darci. I'm your host, Darci Smith, also known as Career Coach Darci. We are here to get down and dirty about careers, uncovering salaries, wild stories, backgrounds, and more from guests with some of the most eccentric professions each week. This podcast is presented by Onomy. Welcome back to Down and Dirty with Darci. I have Blake with me here today. I wrote a really long bio for you, so just sit there and look pretty. Okay, Blake is a former collegiate soccer player from St. Louis, Missouri. She moved to Los Angeles in 2017, and after 3 years in tech recruiting, she became a matchmaker. She is currently the head of matchmaking for The List, which we'll talk about, which is a company that provides a modernized approach to help bring back the fun into dating. She represents some of the most eligible bachelors and bachelorettes across the country. Maybe she can even introduce you to one of them. Blake is a Virgo, can usually be spotted on the beach playing volleyball, and is currently taking up sewing. Welcome to the podcast. Let's get down and fucking dirty.
Trying to take up sewing. We're very new to it.
Yeah. How's that going?
It's slow start, but it's just YouTube videos. That's how I'm doing it.
Nice.
So
we came here to talk about sewing. Okay, so tell us, start from the beginning. Where did your career start? Like, what did you do? I mean, so you played soccer in college. We got that in common.
Mm-hmm, we do.
And then after college, where did you get your career start? How did you find your first job out of college?
Yeah. So I actually played I played soccer after college for a season in Australia.
Nice.
And yeah, it was a good experience, but and at the end of the day, soccer wasn't the path. So I kind of just wanted to figure out what I was good at. And it was, for the most part, building relationships. And I've always been a part of a team, as I'm sure you can relate. So it's just always kind of been that. And so I kind of fell into recruiting. It kind of has a hand in sales, as you know. So it's just a lot about building relationships. But I never fell in love with that job. Mm-hmm. So I stayed in it. And I will say, with recruiting, you get a ton of experience and training and just learning about the corporate world and how to talk to people.
Yeah.
So I would never trade that. I think it was great that I even went through that. And I worked with two of the largest companies for recruiting. So there's just a ton of training. But
can you tell what type of recruiting? And were you inside at a company and recruiting for that company? Or were you outside recruiting for multiple companies?
No, yeah. So I was recruiting for multiple companies.
Okay.
And I was focused primarily in tech and IT. So when I initially got started, it was IT security. I did network engineer, all of that type of stuff. And then when I came for the recruiting job in LA, it was a little bit broader, but still tried to kind of keep it within IT. So it was a little bit more on the database side and some engineering positions and that type of stuff. But
did you get, sorry, I'm going to interrupt you. Did you get asked to come to LA for a job, or did you decide I want to move to Los Angeles? What was that decision?
So I had some family in LA. I actually, at the time, I have less now, but at the time I had two brothers and a sister in LA, and we would visit a lot. We did a Christmas here, and I kind of was I lived in St. Louis at the time, which I love St. Louis, but it's not LA. Yeah. So I would visit, and I was I just need to be there. I wanted to be close to a beach. I'd never lived near water like that other than Australia. But I wanted to kind of get that back and be near a beach. And so that was a huge part of it. So that's when I started applying and looking at positions, and that's how I found Cybercoders. So
nice. By the way, we both worked at Cybercoders together, and that's how we met. So we were both agency recruiters, hustling hard.
Yeah, and I wouldn't trade it. It was, I was only there for a year, but we made good relationships, and and we learned a lot. I mean, I think you just kind of, there's just different ways to navigate the business world, and you just kind of learn all of that through experience and exposure. So it was good, but like I said, I didn't really fall in love with it. So I wanted to take the best parts that I liked of it, which kind of goes back to building relationships. I loved being on the phone with potential clients or potential consultants and figuring out what they liked about their job and what they hated about their job and where they see themselves in 5 years and that type of stuff. But when it came to kind of in recruiting, I want to say this right, it can feel
say it wrong, we like it wrong.
It can feel pushy, it can be,
I forgot that was a new one, sorry.
Happens to the best of us. But in recruiting, sometimes it can feel salesy, and I hate anything salesy. I just can't. I can sell something that I'm behind, I 100% back, but I feel when you're reporting to account manager, they're well, what can you do to get them to say yes?
Yeah.
And you're I don't know if it's best for them,
right.
So you don't want to feel like that all the time. And I think part of a lot of what you did, branching off and doing it on your own, changes that because you have a bigger say and
and like
kind of
selling myself
versus
right
selling
and
and you probably
company.
prioritize building that relationship, so it's less like you might not take this role, but you'll take 1 in 3 years with me because you trust me now. So with bigger companies, it's more about the numbers, and they're like, let's get them in and let's.
I mean, I didn't stay long either. I left Cybercoders in a year too. So but still great experience. We love you.
I learned a ton. I had an amazing boss and whatever. So it was great. But yeah, the parts that I really liked were just like connecting with people and kind of like building those relationships. Actually, in fact, I still have a keychain on my keys from a consultant that I never placed, but we called, like, we had a couple calls. He had like he just wanted just like feedback and tips on like his interview process. No, I'm just kidding. He was definitely like an older man, but
so you're making it worse.
No, he was so sweet. But he sent me a keychain like from when he visited China or something. Yeah, he did. He did. But those are the parts that I love. So anyway, when I started searching and looking for kind of next steps, I actually didn't know matchmaking was a thing. Like, I knew about Millionaire Matchmaker, obviously, but beyond that, I was like, there's no way there's real companies that are doing that. And I started finding matchmaking roles. And so
how did you, we need to dive into that because like there might be people listening, like I would love to do that. Sounds like so much fun. How did you find a matchmaking job?
So job boards. That's
really?
Yeah. That's how
like Indeed, like which one?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't
but something like LinkedIn.
Any
Indeed.
of those though. Yeah. Like it could have been Indeed. It could have been like ZipRecruiter.
Did you type in matchmaker or was it like it popped up? You're like, oh crap, this could actually be really good for me.
I think it popped up because I wouldn't have even thought to type it in. Yeah. So I think it popped up and I was like, oh wow, like why don't I look into this? And so I actually set a couple matchmaking alerts then because I didn't know if I would get that one. And actually the first one I applied for ended up being in New York anyway. And I wasn't going to move. So I set up an alert, and not long after our founder, Constance, reached out to me and we started the interview process. We went through, I think, like 3 rounds of interviews. And then on the offer, we had like a lunch or a dinner. And I was like, I was interviewing for other roles too. And it was the only one I was really like excited about. Like I was just it's a startup and it was something I had never been a part of before. And her vision is just really cool and different. And like, she has such a cool founder story that it's like, it makes sense.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the list and like,
So kind of, and I'll just even like do a little bit of her like founder story, but she, when she started the list, she was like late 30s.
Okay.
So the list is going on its 4th year. So so she's like,
and that's like through pandemic too. That's difficult. Okay.
Yeah. We made adjustments, but I think we'll talk about that. Anyway, but she had been dating and she was a wedding planner herself. So she wasn't meeting people in the workplace. Anybody that she was around were female other than like a groom
or getting married.
So she's like she just didn't have a lot of exposure, and she's not the type that really went out a lot. So it was basically just relying on dating apps, and she wasn't a fan. It's like, it's one of those things where it's like fun for your first couple of years doing it. And then you're just kind of like, okay, what are we doing here?
It's a lot. Yeah.
And so she wanted to look into matchmaking. And so she did, and she met with a couple of matchmakers, and she just found the price points were like astronomical. Like anywhere from 8,000 for 6 months to like 50K.
Oh my gosh.
Like it's crazy. And even meeting with clients now, and like they've met with matchmakers in the past and have actually signed and worked with them, it blows my mind what they pay. So she kind of was like, I'm a business professional. I'm in a stable career, and that's not really affordable for me. And so she just wanted to create something that made sense for business professionals, but they had more options than, 10K or Hinge or dating app.
Dating app.
So that's kind of how she created this. And so what she did to modernize, as I think in the bio you said how we've modernized dating, is we do have an app. But with the app, there's no like swiping back and forth in your matching and chatting. We feature our clients on the app. So anyone can join. And you'd essentially become a part of our free database, but you can see our clients. So if you come across, let's say my client Sean, and you think he's cute, you can like him, and then I do everything from there.
Ah, okay.
So I would handle any of the vetting and all the stuff that's like when you don't want to waste anyone's time, right? Like, do you want kids? Do you have kids? Politics, religion.
Oh my God, that's so nice.
All of that stuff. And then it's basically makes dating more seamless. So then we get you out on a date. That's basically all we schedule your date. Yeah, we plan your date. We make reservations. We exchange numbers the day before. We don't want a bunch of texting back and forth. It's like, just get out and see if you like each other.
It's not a blind date, right? Because
no.
We're using the name Sean. So if I was on there, which babe, watch your back. I might jump on. If I was on there and I see Sean, I'm like, hey, I want to meet him, whatever I swipe or whatever it is that I do, it gets connected to you, you coordinate, but then do you send Sean like my photo and like, how does that work?
Yeah. So we don't do anything blind. There are matchmaking companies that do.
Okay.
But we've just found that people know what they like.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's no point in trying to get them out on this date and maybe I'll coax them to liking them. Not to say I think people sometimes can be surprised by how much they like someone after meeting a personality, but in the end, they kind of have a good idea of what they like. So we show photos to both parties. We want to make sure people are interested
on board.
and attracted and excited. So.
Yeah. Okay. And so then you plan the date. They go on the date. Let's do both scenarios. They have a great time. What happens?
So I follow up with both parties afterwards, just get a little bit of feedback, see what they thought. Obviously, the client, the feedback is the most important because they're on a monthly subscription. That's how the way it works. So they get a match a month at the bare minimum. They can get more, but they get at least a match a month. So after that, I want to know, what did you like and what didn't you like, and how can we adjust this to make your next date better?
Okay.
But then also, like, are you interested in seeing this person again? And then we always want to touch base with the other person too, and get as much feedback as we can. They don't owe us as much because they're not a client, but if we can offer anything constructive, like for example, we had a client that was a very successful attorney, and she is like so sweet and fun and had like a really nice personality, like very bubbly. But when she got on a date, she talked about work a lot. And it was almost like she held her value of herself in her job, which is great. Like, that is really cool of her to like be so successful and like be so driven and be able to do that for herself. But there's so much more about her that when we talked to the guy afterwards, he felt like that was all she cared about. And it wasn't. And we knew that because like we do bi-weekly calls with our clients. So
it's so nice to have a you in this. Like,
like
a third party that's like,
and she
give them this feedback.
And even her, she even was kind of like, really? Like, I didn't even notice it.
Right.
So it's like, we want to try and get as much feedback as we can just to help in any way we can. But at the end of the day, we at least want to get like, do you want to see them again or not?
Right. Okay.
And if they do, we leave everything in their hands from there. So if they're both interested, I typically just let them know, like, so happy to hear that. Like, like you guys need to get out again, but I'm going to let you guys kind of plan everything from here.
Right. Do you like encourage like your client to like be the one to kind of like push it along a little bit, just because that was kind of the initial start?
Sometimes I'll also give, like, if the client's a female and the guy, and obviously she's, meeting with a guy in that scenario, I would still give him a nudge too, because you want the client to feel like
wanted.
Like most clients expect a guy to kind of make that move. So I do give the guy a nudge, but sometimes female clients will be very standoffish in it. And I'm like, it's okay to like let someone know you're interested. So I will still do that too if needed.
When you guys went through COVID, did you guys do online dates, like Zoom dates? Oh
yes,
gosh,
we did.
Rough.
So before COVID, we would do events sometimes, and we would do speed dating events.
Oh, cool.
So then we started doing Zoom speed dating events. I think we hosted 4 or 5.
They like have breakout rooms and stuff.
We didn't do breakout rooms. We did it as like we were all in one big group, and we kind of moderated. And so we would ask questions and kind of go around, and people would answer. And then afterwards, we would get the feedback from each person of which people are you interested in, and if anyone matched, we would set them, or we would basically exchange information. Cool. And then
how many people would be in the rooms?
It'd probably be from like 5 to 6 of each. So like 5 girls, 5 guys, 6 girls, 6 guys, just to keep it like, so we can understand, like, it's not too much, but
Did you, so like, has there ever been a time when like someone ghosts, or like one person really likes another person, the other person's like, I want nothing to do with this person? Yes. Like, how do you navigate that?
Yes. I had a girl actually, like, I think she was frustrated with dating in general. And then she went on this date with this guy. And what you'll find too, and I mean, like, you've obviously been with your roommate for a while now. Yeah. So, but what you find when you're in dating is like, some people are just really good daters and they might not actually be interested, but they're just like a naturally social person and they're like
people pleasers.
Yeah.
Almost.
They're just, and they have like a fun personality. So a client of mine went out with a guy who has that. He embodies that like completely. And so after the date, she was so excited. Like, she followed up with me right away and she was like, oh my gosh, she was so fun. Like, you know, whatever, had all good things to say about him. And so I reached out to him and there was nothing bad. He just didn't have the chemistry. Yeah. Which to her is shocking because all she felt was chemistry, right? So I think just that coupled with being like just frustrated in general with dating, she was like a little bit emotional over it and she was just like, you know, upset. So I mean, like, the only thing you can really do is just like make sure that they know that it relates to everyone. Like, you might feel alone in that, but like anyone dating right now is going through that. And dating's hard. Yeah. There's nothing easy about dating. And so it's a lot of rejection. You get more rejection dating than you do not. Otherwise there wouldn't be this many single people, you know? So it's just making sure people know that it's not personal. Yeah. You know?
Definitely. So, can anyone get on the app? Because you said, just I want to make it clear for people, like if you're single.
Yes, please join. Please join. It's the easiest way for us to find you if you're single. You just download, create a profile, and then you're in our database.
Nice. So like obviously you were a recruiter, so you have some like recruiting chops. So let's say your client's like, I want this, this, and this, and they're not in your database. What do you do? Like, do you go searching for the perfect date for that person?
So I use LinkedIn a ton. Okay. That's what's actually funny is, and me and Constance laugh about it a lot, is this is just another version of recruiting. Yeah. Like, it really is. It's the same skill set. So I use LinkedIn a ton, just in terms of like educational background, years of experience to kind of find an age range. I also have clients that are a little bit picky about industry. Okay. So I can search like specific companies. And I do have clients that date outside of LA.
Oh, wait. So I want to talk about like the nuances of being like a matchmaker and having to like plan out different things like within, you know, someone's profile or like what your client's profile has to look like. Like, I'm just curious. I don't know.
So I will say for all of our clients, we write a bio for them. So we do put together a way for them to kind of have a little bit of a brag without coming from first person.
Oh, cool. So it's like, okay, it's a third person brag.
Right. It's essentially coming from me saying like, this is everything about, you know, Mary or whatever.
That's actually so nice because like on my own dating app, I would know, like, you know, you're talking about yourself. Everyone knows you're the person writing it. So that's nice to have like
it's a little bit weird. You're like, I did this and then I did that. So this is more kind of like, like outlining where they're from, what they do, educational background, career, and then like we'll go through hobbies and stuff. Just keep it like simple enough for people to want to read, not be too long, but give them a good enough understanding of like their lifestyle and career and that type of stuff.
Yeah, I was going to ask, do you tell people, you know, if there's not a photo on there that's not so great, like do you optimize their profile? Like they do it first and then you kind of give them feedback on that?
Yeah, like not the clients, but what about like just random people joining? Do you get to have a say in their profiles?
So we don't as much with random people, just because it would take so much time.
Right.
And it's also kind of like a benefit of signing up. So, but with clients, we definitely give them feedback on the style of pictures that we're looking for. So kind of what I tell everyone, and this is not by the book, there could be other opinions on it.
Listen up, this is advice on your dating profile.
But what I tell everyone is you don't want to be obviously deceitful in any way. So you want a clear image of your face, right? Like something that's not like weird shadowing, weird lighting, or like you off to the side. Like you want a clear image of your face, and definitely head to toe photos. And then from there, it's really kind of like building a story. So if you travel a lot, like put travel photos out there. You know, if you like to go to sporting events, like put that on your profile, and that's totally fine too, because I think people try and get your vibe. Yeah, that's like the biggest thing.
What about the man with the dog?
What about the fish pictures?
Yeah, the fish pictures. You don't see as much as those in LA, I will say.
I know, that's true. That's the Midwest thing.
Like the baby tigers.
I don't see many baby tigers, but yeah, I mean, we try and give as many tips as we can, and also for our clients, they'll send like 12 photos, and we always say we want 4 to 6. So we'll kind of go through and say like, these are good. Like, what do you think? And then for the most part, they'll go with kind of what we say. But yeah, I've actually taken photos for clients before.
Really?
Yeah, because like for some reason, middle-aged men don't have any, they're like weird, awkward selfies. Or like a mirror pic. I'm like, listen, I've FaceTimed with you. Like, I'm know.
Staring at the Onomy founder, Sam, right now. I know. To me, it's just men. Men in general don't know how to take a photo.
Yeah. Or they have one with like 10 of their friends, and you're like, which one are you?
Yeah. I had to, when I met my boyfriend on Tinder, I had to like pick him out of the lineup, and I was like, thank God your friends are somewhat good looking too.
I would have taken any of you.
Yeah. I was like, you guys are at a brewery? Cool. Just date all of you.
Yeah, no, it's so true. Like men are, I'm sorry, but they're just terrible. Not all.
Yeah.
But for the most part, really bad at it. So it's just easier to be like, all right, let's meet at, one of the clients lived in South Bay anyway. I was like, let's meet at this park. I'll take some photos.
That is amazing. Like matchmaker, photographer.
That is needed. Sometimes if they're too good at it, that's concerning too.
Yeah.
There needs to be a balance.
Agree.
They're like glamour shop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like in LA too, you see so much of like, everyone's so artistic, which is really cool, but their profile will be like some weird shaded dark room and they're like this.
Oh no.
And then like the next one's like an art piece of theirs. And then the next one's like you're like, I don't even know what you look like.
Yeah, you're like underwater.
Yeah. Like I have no idea what you look like.
Yeah. I'm artsy. Like me. Okay, how many clients are on the app at one time? Because
So we typically keep it around, so we cover Southern California. So anywhere from like Orange County to a little bit north of LA. Okay. We do at the moment have like a couple outside of that, but for the most part, that's our area. So we keep it around like 30 to 40 clients at a time. And then within the database, just like as like a general user, I think maybe we have around like 7,000 to 10,000.
Wow. Okay. Is there a like stipulation for being like, obviously, Millionaire Matchmaker, their stipulation is that the person's a millionaire. So like, is there qualifications that they have to pass to be a client of yours on the list?
From a broad perspective, no. I do have a funny story that I'll tell, but mostly no. I mean, as long as you can afford to, buy the subscription and
you're not a catfish.
Yeah, and you're real and you're actually like looking for something real. I mean, actually, that's not even true. We had a client that was like out of a divorce and she was just like, I just want to date, but I want to go out with quality people and I don't want to find them myself. And so
you say that to like people that are going to date, like she just wants to smash or
they're like, sign me up.
Yeah.
Not looking for something serious.
Exactly right. Yeah. Something casual.
Yeah.
I'm like honest and upfront with it because that's what they want. And there's people out there that are okay with that too. So.
Oh my gosh, if Ryan ever broke up with me, I full blown slut. Like I'm going wild. This podcast isn't called Down and Dirty for nothing. Love you, Ryan.
Yeah. So I mean, for the most part, yes. Now, one time this is actually when we were still in the office before COVID, so we were together. I was with my boss, and she was on a sales call with a guy, and he's kind of like rolling through all his difficulties of dating and why he wants to hire a matchmaker and all this stuff. And so she's kind of asking him questions like, how have your dates been this far? And blah, blah, blah. And she gets towards like the end of this call. I do not know how this didn't come up until the end. And she's like, what do you think has been the hardest part about this? And he said, well, I already have 2 wives. Oh. Constance's mouth her chin hit the ground. And I was like, oh my God. And she literally was like, oh, okay. I don't know if we can help you.
Like legally speaking, you kind of have to be single.
You literally do. Our contract, if you sign it. Okay. Yeah. If you sign it. So yeah, that's like one of the only times we've really had to be crazy. Like.
So he like really expected to find another wife or date?
I think find another wife.
Yeah. Number 3. We should call him up and see where he's at.
He's in Salt Lake City now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So, I have a cue card here. Hold on. What is the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you at work?
So I was thinking about this. It's hard to be embarrassed really because I work at my house. Like nothing really happens, But I will say the most awkward thing
was like awkward conversation. Yeah.
Was a guy that I previously dated signed up to be a client.
Knowing that you worked there or not knowing?
Knowing. I was his matchmaker.
Oh my God.
So
like, because he met you and he knew you worked there, and then he was like, I'm gonna sign up and make you find me a girlfriend.
Yeah. And this was very like, I mean, first and foremost, it was like probably 4 years ago. So it was a long time ago. And we weren't like exclusively dating.
Right.
We were seeing each other, and he randomly reached out. He texted me one day and he's like, hey, are you still doing the matchmaking? And because I think when we were dating, I must have been just getting started into it, or like dating. And he's like, you still doing the matchmaking? And I was like hesitant to even be like, yeah. Only because it's awkward. You know, I don't care, but like we do an initial meeting with all our clients. It's an hour-long meeting of like your background, you know, and
how many people have you slept with? Do you ask that?
No.
Oh. I would not be a good matchmaker.
Imagine.
Do they have to take an STD test?
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay.
No, so basically.
Sorry. Maybe cut that out.
Well, basically, we don't want to be like, it's still date with your own precautions, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
You want to be smart about the way that you're dating and everything that you're doing. So we do as much like background information as we can, but we don't like confirm it or verify anything.
Yeah, you don't want to like rule the whole entire.
Yeah, and like we don't want to actually also say something and then be wrong. So it's more like, so no, we don't. But we do an hour-long meeting with any new client, and it's their entire background. So part of it was like, I don't even know what I remember about him. I'm gonna be asking all these questions that I should probably know.
What's your last name?
Yeah, like, and then even asking about like his type and what he's looking for, and it's just like
he's like describing the opposite of you.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. But so that's probably the most like, I'd say like awkward thing that's gonna happen. But
oh my gosh. So you do an hour-long meeting, and then like, does everyone know when they contact you like how much it's gonna cost? Or do they learn that like is that like, can you share how much it costs to be a client, like what that looks like?
Yeah, so they don't in most sales calls, no, unless they were referred. But we do talk to them about it on the call, and we'll send them all the info over. I'll tell you just kind of like basic price points.
Yeah, I don't know how much you can share about that, but
yeah. So we do membership. So we do 3-month membership, 6-month, and 9-month.
Okay.
And with each package, you get a little bit bumped off for like committing more time. Does that make sense? So like if you did a monthly breakdown of your 3-month, it's going to be more expensive than your monthly breakdown of your 6-month.
Right.
Which is going to be more expensive than your monthly breakdown of your 9-month.
Like, how confident are you that you can find a match in 9? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, we want people, I'd say you get your best matches anywhere from like 4 and on.
Right. You're like, I have raw data here showing that like it's going to take you 4 to so months. Yeah.
And like, I don't know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I literally know nothing about you. So we have an hour-long meeting where we get to discuss a lot of stuff. And then we do bi-weekly calls where I'm learning more and you're going on dates. So the first person I send you, the biggest things I look for is, are they overall a really great catch? Or do they have like some common interests? I don't think, from my own opinion, I don't think you need to have a ton in common. But like, do you live a similar lifestyle?
Yeah.
Can you enjoy some of the same things?
Yeah.
And then the big ones, right? Like, do you want to have kids?
Yeah.
If politics are important to you, where do they fall? All of that stuff. But then from that first date, it's kind of where you learn the most. Like when I send somebody their first match, I'm like very much like, okay, where did I go? What did I do with attraction? You know, like, am I on pace there? Because attraction is so subjective. It's crazy. Like I'll send somebody and think they're like adorable, and somebody will be like,
not for me.
Not. You know, and I'm like, or they'll like someone in our app, because our clients can like people on our app too.
Okay, so they can look through.
Yeah, so they'll like someone in our app, and I'm like, you know, I would have never pinned that.
Yeah.
So it's the first match is always really interesting to kind of see what the feedback is and where I'm at.
I imagine most people don't quite know what they want. So they're telling you these things, but then that's, you know, once you get the person in front of them, it's like, oh wait, that's not what I wanted, or whatever the case is.
Yeah, that's actually one of yes, some people are very good about kind of being open about that, like thinking they might want one thing and then kind of being like, you know what, maybe I don't, like, and learning through that. But then there's also clients that like, they're confident they want one thing, but like the people that they're liking, or the people that they're like I have some clients that will send me profiles from like maybe a dating app that they see, or like Instagram or whatever.
Right.
And it's like just a complete opposite of what they're looking for. Like, for example, I had a client that like doesn't want somebody that's like tied up in the Instagram world, and like somebody that is, you know, basically Instagram model, but everyone he sends is
an Instagram model.
They have, you know, 100,000 followers. And I'm like,
He's Adam Levining it.
Yeah. I'm like, okay, maybe you don't know what you want, you know, but
yeah.
But I mean, for the most part, people can kind of like come around to learning. Like,
do you ever have anyone that says, I don't want to tell you anything about my type. I just want you to like they'll tell you about themselves and they want you to like figure it out.
I do have people that say I don't have a type.
Okay. Yeah.
Which, like, I think everyone has a type.
Yeah.
But I do have people that say that, and they genuinely think they don't, which is okay.
And then you start to realize there's a type.
Yeah, like I'll literally. So one of the things we do is we'll say send your exes or people that you've matched with on a dating app. And then through that, I'll be like, no, you definitely have a type. like you know, so you can kind of tell, but
yeah. Can you share a match or a date that like was like gone wrong or something that was?
In terms of like gone wrong, I'd say I'll just kind of share like a general thing that I see happen.
Yeah.
Or just one of the general things that I see happen. People speaking really illy of their ex.
Oh God.
Like you'd be shocked.
Is that like rule number one?
Coming from recruiting, right? Like we're like, okay, you never talk
about
poorly
your
about that company. Like So people like they'll go off the date and I'll talk to the client and they'll be like, you know, talking bad about their ex-wife, who's also like sometimes the father or the mother of their kids.
Yeah.
And, you know, so like and that happens both men and women. Like a man will come off a date too and be like, all she had was bad things to say about her ex. And so that is like one thing that I see more common than I ever thought I would have. Cause I thought, to your point, like that's basic info.
Yeah. But, oh my gosh. Okay. I like to ask people this. When people meet you like at a bar or just randomly a stranger and they come up to you, they're like, hey, like Blake, so nice to meet you. Oh my gosh. Like, what do you do? What do you say?
Oh my God. I literally like have to prepare before I even say it. I'm always like at the bars, not as much because people will kind of just like laugh it off or be drunk or whatever. Yeah. But like dating.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God, in dating, as soon as a guy said, I almost avoid asking them what they do because I'm like,
you don't want it to come back.
Then it's a whole convo, and like I love what I do, but it's like they have so many questions, so it's always like as soon as they ask, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna tell you, but especially if we're like texting, I'll say like I'm gonna tell you, but we'll talk about it when we like grab a drink or something.
Okay, but now you can just send them this podcast.
Yeah,
Here's your hands first.
Here's your answer.
Yeah.
So all the time, yes, they're like, what's your day look like? What are your clients?
Oh
who do you work with? Is it just guys?
Can you
like,
set me up?
Yeah, I'm like, some will be like, is that why you match with me? I'm like,
oh my gosh.
What?
You're like, actually, my dating life is just to find dates for my clients.
Right, like in what world?
Yeah.
So
are you dating right now? What's your dating life like?
Yeah, I am.
Do you find it like, well, obviously that conversation comes up, of course, but do you feel like you know more about like the right questions to ask and that? Because like, obviously now that I've been in recruiting and career coaching, like I feel like I can get down to like exactly what I need to know. Dating, sure, but like interview wise, right? For me.
Yeah.
So now with your career, like, do you feel like you're like, I know if I like this person in like 5 minutes?
Kind of. I would say the more that it's taught me is like I'm way more lenient with people. Like I think, and I don't know if that also maybe comes a little bit with age and having dated, you know, through my 20s, but I'm just like more forgiving. Like if I look at a bio, because I see my clients do it. Like I'll see them read a profile, see 2 photos, and then they automatically know everything about this person.
Yeah.
You know, a person that I've already spent time like FaceTiming and phone calls and, you know, like messaging and I've already learned a lot more about them and this person knows, you know, and like, and to me, it's like, that's really frustrating. So I try not to do that too. Like if I'm on a dating app and there's something in their bio or whatever, it wouldn't have been my first choice for them to be in their bio. I tend to overlook it if there's other great qualities or great things that, you know, other potential there. I'll also say I'm more lenient on like height. I try and be.
So we like a short king? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know how lenient, but I'm 5'6".
You were still an athlete, so you kind of have like, of course, there's
and that. I think that's a curse sometimes. And even with my clients, when I have female clients that were athletes, they tend to date taller too. Yeah. And it's because you're just surrounded by it.
Yeah.
But that said, my college boyfriend was an athlete. He played football and he was 5'10".
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's not like,
trust me, I wish Ryan was taller, but here we are.
But that's exactly it. Like that's the biggest thing I'll say to my clients too is like, he might be 5'9", but like if you met him at a bar and you guys clicked, would you walk away because he's 5'9"? Probably not.
I'm all about a short king.
Yeah.
Just saying, the nicer guys.
How tall are you,
the
Rami?
Short kings. I'm 5'6".
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, my boyfriend's 5'10". I didn't know that was short, but
I don't think it is.
I
but
mean,
it's like if you're in like the athletic world, I feel like you're around
Yeah,
like
you're around
6'4".
6'4".
Yeah.
which is I'm shocked when I see guys who are that tall. I'm like, whoa, that is a giant. It's wild.
I love it. So people can go straight to the list. It's on the App Store. They can go on the list. They can sign up. You don't have to pay, right?
So I would just type in the list matchmaking and dating in the
Okay.
App Store.
Okay.
And yes, they can download the app and create a profile.
Anywhere in LA, Orange County.
LA, OC, San Diego. I mean, even a little bit on the outskirts.
Okay.
Yeah.
You still include like the Inland Empire.
Yeah.
But what if could they connect with you like on LinkedIn or something and like just reach out to you personally?
Yeah, connect with me on LinkedIn. Instagram also. I think my
What's your
Instagram
Instagram?
is Matchmaker Blake.
Okay.
It's very original.
Yeah. I like it. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Instagram.
My question to you, how similar would you say you are to the Millionaire Matchmaker? Like in what, do you know it, like obviously have you watched it or?
Yes.
Okay.
I haven't watched it in a long time, but I would say from what I know of it, not very similar.
Oh, okay.
Because Millionaire Matchmakers, to me, and from what my understanding of it, is more of like a wealthy person just coming in to kind of find like an arm candy almost, or like somebody that just like knows they're rich.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Right.
Whereas with us, like we have clients in all kind of demographics of it. Like
industry wise, what's like is it like tech entrepreneurs? Is it like real estate? Is it like, what do you feel like you see the most from your clients? Like corporate positions?
Yeah. So it's honestly all of it. Like we have a professor, we have a real estate mogul, you know, like it's just so random. I mean, we have people that are just like in C-level roles in tech companies or healthcare companies.
Yeah, no, that's amazing. Okay, so like all different, all
literally
different types of industries.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Sweet.
many.
Cool. And then if they want to be a client, they can also sign up through the app, or should they reach out to you?
They can sign up through the app or reach out, or we do have a website. It's getthelistapp.com.
Okay.
You can sign up for a phone call and we can chat more about it and
Perfect.
figure out if it's your fit.
Is there anything I missed when it comes to the matchmaker world that people should know?
I say if you're gonna look into doing any matchmaking, the people that have the best experience go in with an open mind.
Okay.
They go in trusting their matchmaker and knowing that they're doing this for the experience of what they've been doing already isn't working.
Got it. Okay, we have our favorite game, rapid fire.
Oh gosh.
Smash or pass.
Oh no.
Ready? Yeah, smash or pass with their clients. Okay, and champagne.
Smash.
Karaoke.
Smash.
What's your go-to song?
Gretchen Wilson song.
As I say, yeah, here for the party.
Here for the party.
I know it. iPads.
Pass.
Dogs.
If it's a specific breed.
She doesn't like dogs. I just need everyone to know that.
I like some.
Okay, I did that to her on purpose. New York.
Smash.
Okay, winter.
Pass for the most part.
Okay, caffeine.
Smash.
Splitting the bill on the first date.
Smash. I mean, pass. Hard pass.
Okay, the male. picks it
Yes,
up? Okay.
yes.
Okay.
I had a client. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go.
I had a client that he used to do that. He used to split the bill, and I was like, "You absolutely need to stop doing that."
Immediately
Oh my
no.
god, absolutely not. Okay.
Not
Tech recruiting.
pass.
Okay. Khaki pants.
Pass. I think
There's no context. Day drinking.
smash.
Okay. And matchmaking.
Smash.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being here. I know we went over your
Thank you.
socials, but give it like one more time just so people want to reach out to you. Where can they find you?
Matchmaker Blake for Instagram, and then it's just Blake Miller on LinkedIn.
Nice. And the list is the name of the app.
Yes.
Cool. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming. Thanks for getting down and dirty with us.
Yeah.
And I'll probably see you tonight. I'll probably hang out with
Thanks
you
for
tonight.
having me,
Yeah.
and I can't wait.
Okay.
Thank you.